What's up, guys? We're back with another video for you, and today we're going to be talking about Drang. Might be another short one because there's not really worth comparing it to many other weapons, just like with Burden of Guilt, but for the opposite reason that we had with Burden of Guilt. This weapon turns out to be the best option instead of comparing it to the best option. So, first off, in the left column, we have loose change, which gives like an insane reload buff, 50% reload, and aim assist and ADS and all that stuff. But the 50% reload buff is kind of crazy. And you'll always be proccing loose change. In case you didn't know what they meant by elemental debuff, yeah, it's just like, because Incandescent applies Scorch, which counts as an elemental debuff, as well as Burning Ambition also applies Scorch, which same thing. So you'll literally always have a boost to your reload speed, which is 50, which is kind of crazy. So like, if the other option in the left column here is heal clip, that's worth talking about in PvE. So like, if you're doing like lower level content or something like that, and you don't think you're gonna need the healing, me personally, I'd go with loose change. That's if you want to keep an extra roll of this, or you want to farm for multi-perk Drang with loose change and heal clip, which would be like the super god roll, to be honest. If you could just swap between loose change and heal clip depending on the level of difficulty of the content. But if you only choose one, it'd probably be heal clip, and then you'd pair that with either Incandescent or Burning Ambition, depending on the type of activity you're doing. Burning Ambition, you can stun champions with this, which you can't do with Incandescent, but Incandescent is obviously better for ad clear. And for the mag perks, for me personally, the only things really worth going for is Flared Magwell or Alloy Mag, which Alloy Mag used to be kind of not good, but they kind of gave it a buff not too long ago. So it linearly grants a reload duration multiplier as your mag drops from 50%. Before, it used to be only on an empty mag. So now if you reload below 50%, you're going to get a certain amount of reload boost, which it doesn't buff your reload stat, but it lowers your multiplier. And a 0.8x reload duration multiplier kind of scales a bit to something close to 20 reload stat, at least from the testing I did a while back. So this is a solid pick. Or you could also go with Flared Magwell, which just straight up gives you a 15 boost to your reload and a 5 stability boost. Yeah, the mag perks aren't really worth using since Drang already has a pretty big mag, and so the mag perks only are gonna max you out at giving you an extra 2 bullets, which I don't think is worth it at all. Especially if you get a Pandit Mag, like, yeah, it doesn't even give the reload, but it just gives the 2 bullets. If you really want it anyway, go with Tac Mag. But for me personally, I'd rather take the reload boosts of Alloy Mag or Flared Magwell. And for PvP perk wise, I think the only picks in the left column is Moving Target. I suppose you could go with Disruption Break too if you had like some kind of build, something like that. But in general, I would go with Moving Target, and in the right column, Eye of the Storm. And maybe Master of Arms if you're playing sixes. But for the sake of keeping in the spirit of comparing it to other weapons, I will compare it to the only other sidearm I think worth comparing it to, which is I don't have heliocentric. Yeah, Drang is better than this in basically every way, except for one. This is a lightweight frame, so you will move faster while using it. Which, if Drang was lightweight, it would be insane. But it is not. So yeah, heliocentric. If you already have one and you don't feel like farming, this is also a very good option. The classic combo of heel clip, incandescent. You don't get burning ambition. You don't get loose change. Although it does have enlightened action, which is like nearly kind of the same thing. Although it's not as free as with loose change. The origin perk is basically a PvP thing. For Drang, it also has a PvP perk. Roar of Battle. But it also has a PvE perk. Vanguard Determination. After using your class ability, final blows with this weapon grant you bonus damage resistance for a longer duration. So it's not fantastic, but it's at least something. Heliocentric has nothing really for PvE in its origin. But other than that, I would say that Drang is the king of sidearms for sure in PvE. You're not. The only thing is, it's still a sidearm. You're unlikely to really need a sidearm in PvE these days. But if you do, this is the best one for sure. But that's gonna be it for today. Thanks for watching.